Hi, this is Logan Garibay, and today I want to tell you what the very best element you will find in the brand new Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition book, Von Richtens' Guide to Ravenloft. So this is a new book that comes out, and of course Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition is a fantastic game, but not all its source books are fantastic. All the core rule books are great. All of the setting books are fantastic. I'm so there for them. Also, the guides to everything. Fantastic. Utility books. Setting books, utility books, core rule books. Fantastic. I'm there for them. I absolutely detest the 256-page adventures. I wish they would die a horrible death and be gone, right? But Von Richtens' Guide serves as a setting book. I'm totally there for that. Awesome, right? The best thing you will find in it is in the toolkit, the horror toolkit. So in the horror toolkit, there's something really fascinating, and it's so cool and so awesome, and its utility far extends beyond Barovia or Ravenloft or any of the horror games. It's there to facilitate a horror game, but its usefulness is far more important. All right. So what is it? It's the survivor. So in the Von Richtens' Guide to Ravenloft, there is this thing called the survivor. What the survivor is it gives you a stat block, okay? So it's a playable, I want to call it, it's very strange. So it is a playable type of character. So basically, it is there specifically to allow you to play a horror game. And the reason why is the designers that are at Wizards of the Coast are smart enough to know if you play a regular player character, your character is a hero, and it's going to be able to, and that hero is going to be able to fight back against the horrors it finds in Ravenloft, and they don't really need to be scared because they got magic items, they got lots of feats, they got spells, right? They got martial moves, all this kind of stuff, right? But survivors don't, okay? And survivors are characters that are they cannot go beyond 3rd level, right? And they are simply a stat block that you start with, and then once you start with that stat block, you play that character, and there's no rolling, and it is literally configured to give you a base rank humanoid, okay? And you really aren't given much. It's almost like a level, it's really exactly what every single OSR is talking about, right? Like, let's start with a basic person, and let's go from 0 to hero, right? This is a 0. This is a character type that you hand to a player, and it becomes and because Dungeons & Dragons has put it into an official book, it can be considered a player character, right? But what is really amazing is what's really happened is recursion. Recursion, right? We are going back to where essentially now, if you want to play, like, if you're like, oh, I'd love to play D&D, but I need, an OSR game that gives me no options and treats me like a normal human. There you go. It's right there in D&D now. Just get your DMG, your PHB, and your MM, and then get Von Richtens' Guide to Ravenloft and run survivors, okay? And what I'm really excited about is what this does for me is it gives me permission from Wizards of the Coast to run index card RPG in D&D. And that's what I've been trying to do, right? Like index card RPG is just flat out a better game than Dungeons & Dragons in every single way except name reach, right? I need D&D to get people to the table, right? Because it becomes such a much easier option. It's effortless. It's just so easy, right? Whereas you're like, hey, come play this weird indie game that you've never heard of. It's hard, right? But with this new Survivor, that's everything I need. It's Wizards of the Coast giving me permission to run the index card RPG, which is a super reduxed D&D with the D&D name, right? It's just brilliant, and I am so here for it. So the best thing you're going to find in Von Richtens' Guide to Ravenloft is the Survivor. It's truly brilliant. I'm very excited. what it really allows more than anything else is you want to play, just throw your OSE book in a lake, right? Throw 5 torches deep in a lake. Throw Torchbearer in a lake. And just do it with the, I'm not throwing my index card RPG books in the lake. But it gives you the permission to run the game you want, the game that's cool, the OSR game you want, under the D&D banner. That's really what we all want. We want D&D to not suck, right? Because it's too complicated and they've crammed too much crap into it, right? Here you go. Survivors gives it to you. That's my opinion. What do you think? How are you going to use Survivors? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.